You can rig any car in about 5 to 10 minutes without add-ons, and we're going to look at how to do that first in this video. But if you stick around, I'm also going to show you how to create this facial rig. I'm also going to walk you through how to use an app called Polycam that will help you record environments and use Gaussian splatting. And at the end of the video, I'll recommend some free and paid add-ons for automatic rigging with cars. It's going to be a big video, so let's dive in and get started. This video is sponsored by Polycam. Now, as I said, you can follow along with any car model in the beginning of the video. However, I'm going to be using this model because it is free online and you can download it and follow along if you prefer. Let's dive in by first creating an armature. So I'm going to switch to material view here and we're going to hit Shift A and we're going to add an armature single bone. Now we're going to tab into edit mode here. We'll come over here to the data tab and under viewport display, I'm going to check in front. That'll just make sure we can always see it. I'm also going to turn on names too, just to make that a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and delete this bone. Now we'll do the wheel bones first. So let's tab out into object mode, grab our car here, tab into edit mode. And what you want to do is get the cursor here to the center of the wheels. You can select these edge loops by hitting Alt-click Shift. And by doing that on the center of the wheel, if I hit Shift S, cursor to selected, we will now have a cursor dead center on the wheel, which is exactly what we want. So you can tab back out to object mode, grab our armature up here, and let's name this car rig. Tab into edit mode there. And now when we hit Shift A, it will add a bone in the edit mode there. And you'll see here that it is now dead center in the car. So if we come up here, we can grab this transform pivot point, switch this to 3D cursor, grab our model here, hit R90, and then hit negative. And what that will do is rotate it negative 90 degrees. And we want this to be locked to the x-axis. So if we press X, you'll see that it snaps there. And you can press negative again to get that the right direction, depending on what way it's going. And just like that, we now have this bone pointing forward, which is what we want. Now, if I press 7 on the numpad here, we'll switch into top view. And we're going to duplicate this bone. So hit Shift and click, and then hit R90. And then you may need to hit negative again to get it in the right direction, but we want it pointing out away from the car. Now we're going to name these bones. Let's name this one wheel.l, and then we'll name this one over here wheel.dir.l, and that dir is going to stand for direction. That'll make sense later. Now we want to do the same thing for the back wheel. So just tab back into edit mode and grab that edge loop again and do the same exact process. And then once you have your cursor there, hit Shift A again. But this time we don't need this direction because this is going to be used for steering. So we'll hit R90 here. And we can just snap that to the Y axis. And now we have our back wheel too. So we'll call this one wheel back.l. Perfect. If you want, you can name this one front as well, just to keep things more organized. So we need to create the root, the body bone, and the steer system. So we'll come up here to the top view here. We're going to grab this wheel direction because we just want all of these to be on kind of the same plane. So I'm going to hit Shift D and then move that over on the X-axis so it's center there. If you want it to be dead center, you can come up here to the transform items and set your tail and your head to 0 on the x-axis. You can name this front bone here steer, and we'll grab this and just change this to 3D cursor to medium point, and we'll bring this up so it's just in front of the car. We'll grab the bone here in the middle by clicking it, hit Shift D, Y, and move that back somewhere around the center of the car, and we'll name this one root. And then we'll hit Shift D and move one back again, and we'll call this one body. Have you ever struggled to build scenes? Well, check out Polycam, the top 3D scanning app on iOS and Android, perfect for designers, architects, and hobbyists. Polycam lets you capture stunning 3D models using LiDAR on your smartphone's camera. One standout feature is the Gaussian splatting for point-based scans. A Blender creator actually used it with a drone for an amazing tower animation. I'll link to his process below, but it's as easy as downloading this free add-on and importing the Gaussian splat into your scene. Really cool. Polycam also supports photogrammetry for photo scans using any smartphone and has a new room mode for creating floor plans with real-world measurements and furniture placement. You can use their website to share and download models as an asset repository, and you can get Polycam now. Check out the link in the description where you can start your 3D journey today. Next, let's begin parenting the bones. So pretty much everything's going to be parented to the root except for this bone. So grab all the bones here and then click the root last and hit Control Keep Offset. Now we'll grab the front wheel here and we'll grab the direction second. And we'll hit Control P, Keep Offset. And now we're ready to begin adding constraints. For our first constraint here, let's grab the steer bone and we're going to switch to pose mode here and come down here to bone constraints. And for this one, we're going to add what is called a limit location. and we're going to turn on the minimum and the maximum X. We're going to change this to world space. So what that means is that it will always be in local space by switching it from world to local. And now it'll determine the X based off the local of the bone, which is this direction. And then we're going to set the minimum and the maximum to -1 and 1. And we're going to click on Effect Transform. And what that means is that it will stop that and never go past 1. Perfect. Now we'll grab the wheel direction here, and we're going to add a transformation bone constraint. So if I grab transformation here, I can then select the armature here, the car rig, and then for the bone, we want to check steer. Now we're going to change the target from local space and the owner to local space. And then we're going to twirl down map from and map to. This is really cool because this add-on allows you to map various elements, for example, location to rotation. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to set the map from location. So this will be the location of the steer here from -1 to 1. And then we're going to change it to map from the location of this to our rotation. So by clicking this rotation here, we'll come down here to the Z source axis because we want the bone to be turning this way. And as you can see, that's its Z axis. So we'll change the Z source axis down here to X, and we're going to do 15 degrees and -15. And you can do this as high or low as you want, but keep in mind, the more that you do it, the further it's going to go, and wheels don't turn all the way. So you can set those numbers to whatever you want. Next, let's grab the body bone. We're going to add a bone constraint to this one as well. And yet again, we're going to use a transformation. We're going to change this target to local space and the owner to local space with parent. We're going to twirl down the map from and the map to here. And again, we're going to be using the steer. So let's grab that car rig here and grab that steer bone. We're going to again use -1 and 1. This time, we want to rotate on the Y axis. And what we could do is come down here to map to, grab rotation. We're going to change the Y source axis to X. We're going to change this to some sort of degree. 10 and -10 will probably be good. And now you can see that as we grab this, it is rotating. And what that's going to do is basically take the body of our car, and as we use that steering function, it's going to rotate the body kind of like this. The last thing we want to do is make it so that the wheels automatically turn when the car is moving forward. And that'll just make animation a bit simpler for us. So you could use another transform constraint, but I actually prefer to use a driver here. I just think it's a little easier. So make sure you're in local mode and grab your root bone here. And we see that we want the Y axis as that's moving forward. So we're going to come up here to the Y transform of that bone. We're going to copy as a new driver. We're going to grab this wheel front here, and I'm going to switch this from quaternion WXYZ to just XYZ Euler, make that a bit simpler. And we see here that this is our Y axis. So we will paste that driver up here into that Y axis. Now, if I grab this root bone and move forward, you'll see that we're turning, but it's a bit slow. So we'll drag out here for a new window, come up here to the graph editor or drivers, and we can then grab this bone here, grab this driver here, click this driver menu over here, and now we have access to this window where you can see it's been copied. So up here, you'll see we have type of averaged value. We can grab that, change that to scripted expression, put a little asterisk there, and this means it'll multiply by, and then set a number. I found that 3 works pretty good. Now when we go and grab this here, you see that we're moving at a much better pace. Now you don't need to redo all that again for the back wheel. It's pretty easy. Just right click, copy driver, grab that back wheel, switch it to XYZ, and just paste driver. And now you'll see that it's working. So now what we can do is grab everything here, switch into edit mode, and use your search function and look for symmetrize. This is also under the armature menu. And that'll just automatically switch everything to the other side. We need to attach our car to the rig, and that's pretty simple. We'll grab the car, we'll grab the rig here, we'll hit Control P, and we will do with empty groups. Now, when you grab your car mesh and come over here, you'll see that it's added all of the bones. And this part's pretty simple because we just have a few wheels and the body. So we can grab everything here in the body and edit mode, just select all that, click body and click assign and make sure the number is set to 1. Then do the same thing for each wheel and attach it to wheel front L, wheel back L, wheel front R, wheel back R. And just like that, now we have a rig where everything is connected, and you can see here how we can kind of move things around. Now, if you want to add custom controls so this looks a little less messy like I had in the opening, You can add any shape, for example, this cube here, and then you can come over into the pose mode, grab a bone, for example, the body here, come down to the bone, and you'll have this viewport display option, and you can choose any option here. So I'll go and grab that cube and then just turn on wireframe mode. And you'll see that now that it's displaying there as a control, and you can move this around and rescale it until you get it into the correct shape and position. Now, there are certainly more professional ways we could set up this rig, but I want to show you something that I think is just easy for beginners and fun to make. So we're going to add a mesh here. We're going to add a plane and then tab into edit mode there. And let's rotate that plane up on the x-axis so it is facing us while we are in front view. Now, what we need to do is add some subdivisions. So we'll hit Control R, highlight here, and then we'll roll up on our mouse wheel until we have a few iterations there. Let's do 4. And let's do Control R one more time and add a halfway mark. Now we'll tab out into object mode. We'll name this plane Eye, and then let's duplicate that and name this one Eyelid. So I'm going to hide that eye version, but let's add a material here and make this white. So I'm just going to add eye, make this white, turn the roughness down to something like 0.15, and we'll turn that off for now. For the eyelid, we'll add eyelid material here, and let's just pick a color. I'm going to do red, and we'll go ahead and make this one a low roughness value as well. Now I'm going to tab into edit mode here on this eyelid. We're going to switch over to vert mode, and I'm going to delete these bottom points. And then now we have this eyelid set up here, and we need to create some hold patterns. So we'll add a subdivision surface right there, and let's bump this up to 2 or 3. Now, when I tab back into edit mode, I'm going to add some hold lines as I mentioned. So hit Control R, bring those over there. And we're just looking for kind of a similar thickness all around. And we're going to do that on each side. Okay, now we can turn back on our eye here. And we're going to add a solidify modifier to this one here. And by default, it's going to push backwards. So just set that offset to 1, and that'll bring it forward. And just like that, we have our eyelid. Now, lastly, I will link to this eye texture below, but you can go ahead and use the import images as planes, which is a free add-on you can enable under the preferences menu, and import this eye texture into the scene. Once you've imported that into your scene, just move it around here until you get it about the size and position you want. Also make sure that it's just pushed a little bit forward so that it's not going to have any Z depth fighting. We can add a mirror modifier to this and select our eye back here as a duplicate there. Now we can apply that modifier, and then tab into edit mode here, and let's grab this face over here and just rotate it 90 degrees. That way our eye highlights are matching. Great. So now we have the model set up and we're ready to begin rigging, which is going to be a pretty simple process. So we will tab into edit mode here, and we want to make sure that we have, switch to wireframe mode here, that we have the cursor set to these right here. So grab those 2 bottom verts, hit selection, cursor to selected. Now we're going to add an armature single bone. We'll go in here, just delete that bone, hit Shift A to add a new bone, make sure that it's zeroed out at that. We'll grab this up here and we'll drag this down. And we're going to name this eye control 0.001. This one's going to be 0.00 and this one's going to be 0.002. Now you just need to repeat that process with these verts until we have all 3 bones. I'm going to fast forward a bit because it's just a bit tedious. After you have all those into position, we're going to add one more bone. So we'll just hit Shift C to recenter everything, hit Shift A, create a new bone. We're just going to move this down and bring this down a bit, and we'll call this one Iris Control. Now we have everything we need for this rig. So come over here with the rig and object mode, go to data, do viewport display in front, and turn on names just to make that a bit easier for you. And we are going to grab this right here. We're going to grab the armature. We're going to hit pair control with empty groups. And then we will tab in here and we will grab each of these bones and apply it to the eye control there, just like we did earlier. Now, if I switch back out to material view here, grab pose mode and pull this up, you'll see that we are getting it pulling up our verts, but it looks like a sharp angle. So we will grab this here, come over to the modifier stack, and we will just put the subdivision here, or the armature here at the beginning. And then that'll just smooth out our transition there, just like that. And now we can control these eyelids on our character. Next, let's go ahead and turn this all into one model. So we'll grab this up here, make sure you apply the subdivision modifier over here. And then we will grab all these and click the eyelid and Control J. So now everything is in one model. You'll notice that the subdivision is hurting our eyes here. So if we grab both of these eyes, come up here to mean crease under item there and just do 1, that'll make it so the subdivision doesn't affect it anymore. And then under the vertex tab here, we can assign these to iris control. And now in pose mode, you'll see that we have control over our irises there. Now, getting this onto the car is simple. It's just tedious. I'm not going to show the entire process, but essentially all you're going to do is rotate this and just get it into place over your windshield, just to replace your windshield. As I said, it's a bit tedious, so I'm just going to leave it there. But you can join your eye object into your car object, and you can join your car rig object into this object here. And then you can also grab all these bones and parent them to the root, and that will give you the kind of final rig that you see here. If you're enjoying the video, maybe consider checking out my Patreon. You can actually get these face rig files on there. I have a car paint material on there up this month, and I have plenty of other things, including scene breakdowns. But let's get back to the tutorial. I mentioned I'd share a few add-ons. One of the most popular car rig add-ons is Launch Control Auto Car Rig. It's very powerful. This one is paid, and it has a variety of paid options, but it has a lot of features, including physics, simple animation, and what they consider just lazy rigging, where it very easily adds on. Another option is checking out Car Library Traffic Car Models. This just includes a bunch of rigged cars already that you can go ahead and import into your scenes. Or there is a free add-on called Rig a Car. Unfortunately, it quit working with 4.1, but here on this YouTube channel, they talk about how you can try and fix it, though it is a bit of a process to still get it installed and run. So those would be my options if you're looking for the add-on route.